and thank you for joining me on Sew Stitch Hex. I'm Miss Izzy, and today we're going to be talking about spellwork. Now, spellwork is the actual work you do when doing magic. So in your craft, you can do it in a variety of ways. A lot of people will put a lot of work into it, and I've done it myself where I've worked on spellwork for a month and a half. Like, I coordinated it with everything I could, and you can, and you don't have to. Some of the things you can incorporate in are things like incense. This is sandalwood from Walmart. You can incorporate offerings to your deities, gods and goddesses and spirits. I have this really cute little offering plate that's some kind of lacquered wood that I got from the Goodwill. And my Goodwill seems to have a lot of witchy things, so I think it's like a hand-me-down from another witch, which I think is adorable. I love it. But you can take it and put all kinds of things on it according to your spell. So for me, I love going all out. So for me, I'll do a lot of things like this one. I have little plastic roses. You don't have to use real flowers if you don't have access to them or you don't have the money for them. That's fine. You can use plastic that you get from like the Dollar Tree. Just do. This one was a little spell. There's a couple pieces from it. It's not all of it. But I use little origami swan because it meant something. Create a little rock, and it's the worry rocks, which you can, if you're charging your spell, which is to give it more power and energy, you can use like this rock, spin it around like it's supposed to be, rub the little worry stone. You can do, like, I use glitter, but you can use herbs. You can use all sorts of things. It's whatever you want to give your spell more power, to give it more creativity, more of your essence. So for me, I try to incorporate as much of myself as possible. And as you can tell, I'm super extra. So I go in very deep detail, just as much as I can. I mean, today, I'm a mermaid. I just love it. It's so cute. But you can do things like incorporating real flowers. You can incorporate food as an offering to your gods and goddesses. If you're incorporating your gods and goddesses, know which ones are important to the spell work. Don't use a goddess of love and sexuality for a spell about drawing money unless, you know, that's how you're getting your money. Sorry for the pause. The camera decided to jump at me. I guess I said something that scared it. So, in your spell work, think about what is relevant to your spell, like to your actual spell, to what you're trying to summon, manifest, do. Just like when you write a paper, if you've written a formal paper, most people have, a lot of people have, think about what is relevant. Don't pick sources and random things that have nothing to do with anything. Make sure it's contextually like valid, you know, pretty basic. So for me, I usually incorporate as much as I can. If I can incorporate like rope or string and do knot magic and things. If I can incorporate candles for candle magic and color magic, using the color of the candles and the color associated with all the things, perfect. You can use oils that you make yourself or you buy from a botanica if you can't make your own. I struggle with a couple just because it's interesting. I don't know how certain things decide to disagree with me, but they do. But that's okay. That's fine. That's good. You can incorporate perfumes. A lot of people in Hoodoo and Voodoo will have different perfumes for the different Loa that they work with, or the different saints that they work with, depending in their Hoodoo or Sanctoria. And Voodoo practitioners, it's almost guaranteed you're going to use Florida water and things like that. Just like a perfume. You can incorporate dried herbs, music, if that's what appeals to you. You can use your tarot, other forms of divination like runes, your pendulum. You can use them. Other charged objects that you've meditated with and gained a connection with. You can use things such as lyrics and words from movies, from books. You can even follow a spell directly from a book. You don't have to write your own spell, but I love to write my own spell. I write spells all the time. It's perfect. It's lovely. Sometimes it ends up staying as a spell that I don't use, so I don't know how it works. It just inspired me, and I wrote it down. Most of the time, they're relevant. They're extremely relevant. I wrote them because I needed them, and they came to me in the moment. As I say, the muses punch me in the face. But you can use very many things. You can even do bibliomancy, as I've mentioned in a previous video, using the book, maybe the book that inspired you to write the spell, and use it for divination while you charge your spell or while you meditate on the spell work itself, while you're doing the spell. You can coordinate your outfit to what you want to do. I didn't today. Of course, I'm not doing spell work, but you can. You can incorporate as many aspects into it as you want. The day, the time, the month. That might take a long time if you decide to do something that you want to do on Ostara, but you decide to do it in July. So you're going to have to wait. But you could. Like, it's completely possible. You can incorporate it to the phases of the moon, which is very common. I am usually a little bit more, I need this now, so I don't wait. But sometimes I do. Sometimes I wait for the perfect day that lines up with the moon phase that I want, the perfect hour. I use all of the things. I use the string, I use the perfume, the incense, I wear the perfect outfit. I love using the outfit. I like to call it like modern witchcraft, and incorporating so much of yourself into the craft is very important. Very important. Because if it's not personal to you, it may not work as intensely. Generally, most practitioners don't believe it does. Most practitioners believe that if you don't write your own spell work, it doesn't work. I know Tomas Prower, in his book about La Santa Muerte, talks about how here's a couple prayers you can do for La Santa Muerte, but I won't give you many, he says, because if it's not personal to that deity, then she doesn't really care. I mean, she can, and they can. You can have all the Hail Marys and whatever when you're speaking to your God. That doesn't mean it's going to be as important. That doesn't mean that it's going to be as meaningful with your connection to that deity that you're petitioning. It doesn't mean it's going to be as important to the spell work and the energy that you're trying to create to change your world. It's all about as much detail and creativity as you have. Put all of that energy into this, because this is what you are going to create. This is what you want. So you put as much as you can into it because it's important. It's not something you're doing just to say you did it. Like, oh, I did this spell to do whatever and I put no effort into it. Well, did it work? Because I doubt it. If you don't care, it probably won't. So putting as much as you can into it is really important, as it is your craft. It is you. It is your desire, your want. You don't do witchcraft because it's convenient. You do it because it's who you are, and you do your spell work because it's how you express yourself. It's how you get the things you want and how you move forward. Of course, you have to work in real time. You can't just do the spell to summon a lover and then sit on your couch. No. The only people that are coming to your house are either summoned there by the interwebs. I love the interwebs. Or they are a burglar or your delivery guy, because you're just sitting on the couch, not making food, not getting groceries. I mean, that's fine, but you have more options. Update your dating profile. If you're doing a love spell and you want to summon a partner, update your dating profile. You don't even have to go out, but you can. Go out, party, have fun with friends. Like, spend time making your life better and make yourself happier, because happy people attract more. And then maybe the spell will have the room it needs to work. Giving that spell that space, that opportunity, because although magic isn't a coincidence, it works by way of coincidence. It's not just going to plop your perfect person down in front of you in your living room while you're in your jammies shoving Twinkies in your mouth. It's not going to happen. I mean, it could, but by God, you're fabulous if you can do it. And please, summon one for everyone you care about, because that's lovely. But I doubt it. I doubt it. More likely, it's going to happen by you do the spell to summon a lover to you, and then you go to the bookstore where you're most content, you're most happy, and someone sees you and they feel your glow, they feel your beauty, and they say, wow. And then they walk up and they get your number, if they can. If you're, catching on to the vibe, you're feeling it. Be really cool. That's kind of how it works. I mean, it may seem stupid. You're like, that's not magic, that's coincidence. Magic is coincidence. And by giving it the opportunity to work, by incorporating real life actions into the spell, apart from the spell work, the spell will work. another thing I want to say before I sign off is that Spellwork is about spelling. It doesn't have to be exact, but that's another concept. If you're going as minimalist as you can, remember that spelling is spelling. Just like cursing is cursing. When you tell someone where to go or what they can go do with themselves and probably a foreign object, that is a curse. You know, you are using a curse word, but it's actually releasing that negativity towards them. It's intending to send a curse or curse word at them. A spell is the same way. The words you say affect the spell intensively. And I really find that important, especially because I was an English major and I really love words. Love words. They're so fun. Mostly weird words and words that I make up, but that's super fun anyways. But the importance of words really affects your spell. And if you decide to be as minimalist as possible, say you don't have access to the resources of candles, say you can't be caught with a bunch of weird herbs that are just like skull caps. I love skull caps. But not everyone's just going to have skull caps. I mean, it's really pretty affordable. I like it for depression and things. Really nice. I enjoy it. Not everyone's just going to have this random plant in their room and their mom's not going to be like, what you doing? Not everyone's going to have a million candles. Maybe you're at a dorm. Maybe you just use something like LEDs. I love LEDs. I was at a dorm. That's what I did. But you don't have to use these things. You can just focus on your intent, focus on the words. It's very neo-paganism, but in most things it works. Working with certain deities and spirits like the Loa, it doesn't really work. You have to do the physical thing. But alternatively, if you need to just work with what you got, witchcraft is, I'm going to call it a practice of the poor. Because you work with what you got to manifest what you need. And you work with what's there. I'm very big on low magic, and that is what it is. So, this has been the informational video on Spellwork. And if you have any questions, please feel free to comment, subscribe, like, message, And thank you. So, I hope to see you next video and cast a spell with you.